little nervous there when Dick was saying Bob is son of, and he is son of. And I was going to have to bleep him there in a minute, but luckily no. Thank you, Dick. Appreciate it. Well, thank you, Kiwanians, for letting me share our city with you. This is something I truly look forward to every year because I get to get up and tell everybody all the good things that happen around this place, because it is truly amazing what happens in a city of 26,000 people on a day-to-day basis that never gets told about. And I know the Daily Record works really hard to try to tell you everything, but we have so many people pulling the rope the same way and trying to make this a better place. So thank you for letting me be here. As Dick says, this is the 6th time I've gotten a chance to do this presentation here. And I just want to start it out and put all the cards on the table. Right now, as mayor of the city of Wooster, I believe that we have a very healthy city, one that is in good shape and getting better. And it's because of efforts of all of us trying to make that happen. And last year at this time, I got an opportunity to present to you, and at that point I couldn't be quite as confident in that statement because we had issues facing us in loss of state funding. And this time last year, I wasn't sure which way our city was going to go, and that was disturbing to me because I have such faith in who we are and what we do. But I'm so happy to say on May 7th last year, the voters, after learning what the real issues were, brought things together and passed a levy so that we could continue operating with the loss of the state funds. And it's actually made us a lot more independent because we were receiving large dollars from the state of Ohio, and let's see if I can, there you go. Part of those were the estate tax receipts. And this is just to give you an idea of what we were telling folks all along. At one point, well, in 2012, we received over $1.4 million in estate taxes. And that's a huge number. And that really helped us to pay for the capital improvement items of our city. And the state did away with those. And so you see in 13, there are still some. Now, the estate tax went into effect on January 1st of 13. So estate taxes are on people who passed away. So people had to have died in 2012 or before, and we're still getting some in 2013. We still anticipate we'll get some in 2014, but it's going to be very small. And then after 2014, most of the states, and my lawyer friends can probably attest to this, will settle within probably 2 years of time of death, or if they go much longer than that, that's quite a mistake. So 2014, we expect maybe a little bit, but 2015 it will be completely gone. And so those are some numbers we gave people last year. Local government funds. These are monies that we all pay to the state in our taxes, and the state then returns them to local communities. And as you can see, from 2009 through 2011, we were getting $1.2 million in those local government funds. They have started trimming them down, and in 2013, we're at $600,000 in local government funds. And I don't know if those will get any smaller than that. They haven't talked about taking any more away, so we do still anticipating it at about $600,000 a year, but as you can see, that's half of where we were with that. So those are some things that we were facing, and that's why this income tax levy was so critical. So really last year, 2013, we spent from November of 2012 through May, or up to May of 2013, trying to educate people to the cause, because we saw that train coming and said we've got to tell the story and then let the voters make an educated choice, and that's what they did. So after we learned that the levy had passed, that didn't mean the money started flowing in. In fact, we're only about 40 days into, actually 42 days into collecting the tax that was approved last May. It did not start until January 1st of this year. So the rest of 2013, we already had a budget set. Council had approved it, and we knew what we had to do. Now, we had really sort of done two budgets, one if the levy passed, one if it didn't pass. But really, council just approved the one if it didn't pass. So we spent from May through probably summertime really evaluating who we are, what we need. We worked with all of our managers, how many personnel they needed to do the jobs of the city. All of that. We did a lot of soul searching, and truly it made us a better organization because we were tight. And then once August rolled around, September range, we pretty much did the city business. We had to do budgets for 2014 and on. So we were doing lots of planning through 2013. Let me tell you a little bit about our great year at 2013, and it really was overall a great year. It was truly an economic roller coaster. You all felt it. We were sometimes thinking, okay, we're coming out of this, and then the next week you'd be going, oh, gee, what's happening now? So it was quite a ride. But overall, the Wooster businesses that I've talked to were all getting stronger. Seaman Corporation is one of those. They were doing an expansion. It actually started in 2012 and it continued through 13 and is still under construction right now. They added new machinery line for increasing their business, and then also office remodeling and dressing it up so they can bring customers in and show what they do. So Seaman Corporation, a great community partner. Luke is another one that was really going great guns. We are so pleased to have Luke as a member of our community. They have done so much. They really have replaced Rubbermaid as the main employer of our town. They did shrink down in employment when the times were tough. They went down to 750 employees. They are back up to it's over 1,000, maybe 1,200 employees at this range. And I'm getting a nod from our most recent Luke person here, so that's good to see. They added a new press line. I don't know if you guys remember seeing it in the paper, this huge truck that brought this press in that they had bought from overseas. And it is now in production, and they're doing great things. Luke is just a shining star for us in the community. Others that I've talked to that have rebounded and are doing well, Wooster Brush, they're back to full production, full employment. They really never let anybody go. They kept all their employees, but they did shrink down in the amount of hours that some of those employees were operating. But they're back to full operation and working overtime. Tech 4, another company, very busy. Westerman's busy, Artiflex is busy, Frito-Lay's busy, United Titanium busy. So lots of good things happening in our industry base. Here's another thing that happened in 2013. This is the Sloan House. A guy by the name of John Sloan was a state House of Representative. He was Secretary of State of Ohio, and he was Treasurer of the U.S. Treasury. And this is just down from City Hall, just above the downtown, and the MERS came along and said they wanted to fix the place up, and so they rehabbed it, and it is a real nice addition to our street just down from Mr. Long's office is up there. So a nice entrance into our downtown area. The OARDC, you may not know what that is unless you've been out that way, but that was where the tornado went through about three years ago. They have started reconstruction of the Ag Engineering Building. And that is how it looks now, and should be finishing up hopefully the end of this year or early next year, and back in useful production for folks. Here's the one that we are just thrilled happened. 2013, it was June 24th of last year that Daisy Brand said Wooster has the nod in bringing their third manufacturing facility to life. This manufacturing facility will be producing sour cream and cottage cheese for our area from essentially Chicago the whole way out to the East Coast. Will be supplied out of the Wooster area. So a very big thing. We hear rumors from Daisy that this will be their largest manufacturing facility. So we're looking for some great things to happen. If you don't know where that picture is, Luke is down to the left-hand corner, right there where that yellow line goes at a slant. It's the Luke Academy. So it's all of that land from there over to Geyer's Chapel Road. But a lot of people worked extremely hard to make that happen, and we sure appreciate all the efforts. Justin Starlin over here was one of the leads, along with Sean Starlin, his brother, that really worked hard for us to make that happen. The First Amendment, downtown Worcester, opened in July of last year. The GE sign. That big GE sign is down there on Wooster Appliance. That got refurbished and got put into place in August of last year. This, you passed probably if you came up 585, is Bauer Corporation. They are building a brand new building here in Wooster. They had operated there along Artiflex or Gersenslegers, as most of us can remember it, in a very old building. And they actually were going to leave Wooster. There were a lot of people that really went to bat to convince them that it was worth staying. Our biggest problem was they said they wanted to keep the jobs that they had there, about 32 employees, but they really weren't looking to expand jobs. Well, we've got lots of things to sweeten the pot from the state if you create jobs, but they said we can't commit to creating jobs, but we'll retain the ones we had. So it was a little bit more of a work to make it happen, but there you see it, it is happening. And the nice thing is that's only half of the land they have, and they have leveled off a mere replica of that building beside it. So they really may expand as time goes on. So we're really excited about that. This here doesn't look very nice, I'm afraid, but it will be. This is the College Hills Plaza up beside the hospital. The hospital purchased the land back, I think it was 2008, we actually purchased the land. There were some leases and tenants in there, and we would have had to have bought them out to get them out of the building, and we didn't have burning, pressing issues that had to have that building come forward. So we said, okay, we'll just wait the leases out. And once all the leases were gone, then we started, we're tearing the building down now. It probably will be grass and parking lots for a while, but that doesn't mean we don't have plans for it. Probably the first thing that will happen is our physical plant, the heating systems, the HVAC, the laundry, those kind of things, are on the building just on the north side. If we do an expansion with a new building and we don't move those, then we trap the whole physical plant inside the center of the building, which is not a good thing. So the first thing you'll probably see is we're going to move the physical plant out to the edges of the complex, and then we'll be moving forward. There's still lots of thinking going on at the hospital board as far as what direction we should go. An emergency room, at one point that was the burning issue. We needed more space for an emergency room. That still is an issue, but it doesn't have quite the burn that it did at one point. The new healthcare law that we have, Obamacare as people call it, requires our emergency services, the squads, that moving forward we're going to have to take 15% of our transports to either a doctor's office or a urgent care type of thing, and not to the emergency room. This is an unusual twist to the healthcare law, but that has to go into our thinking on this also. There may be more patient rooms at some point. There may be doctor's offices. We just don't have a final plan to roll out in front of people at this point. But these are things that we're thinking about with the hospital. We did open a transitional care unit, which technically is a very short-term, like nursing home care. It's really designed for people who are coming off of our main beds of the hospital where they have to have hospital care, but they're not ready to go home yet. And so they can go to the transitional care unit, or we hope to not have people much longer than, say, a month at the longest. There may be some that go longer than that, but it's really to help people get their feet back under them and moving forward. So that has worked out very well. We have it set up for, I think, 22 beds. We have been holding a population of about 18 beds in the transitional care. So it's coming together very nicely now. Here's something that probably most of you haven't seen, but it's really a unique thing that the city of Wooster and Quasar Energy put together. Our wastewater treatment plant, and that's pretty much of it right there in front of you, has had growing pains over the years. We've been trying to make the thing operate properly and have had some stumbling blocks in the way. Quasar came along and said, hey, we do anaerobic digestion. That's what we're good at. And we make natural gas out of the process. So our digesters had not been refurbished when they did the plant upgrade, and we needed to spend a lot of money to do it. Quasar said, hey, we will work with you guys. We'll do refurb. We'll sign a lease with you, and Joel's got all the particulars as far as how the whole lease came together, but it was a good deal for them, a good deal for the city. And these balloon things down on the bottom side of the picture is the anaerobic digestion. There is a third one in the center. This picture was taken before the bubble was put on. But essentially, after the wastewater goes through our plant and we just have the thicker solids left, I'm sorry you just ate lunch. They go into this anaerobic digestion and they continue to decompose. And in the process, they give off methane, which is natural gas. So we are actually running the plant on natural gas produced under those domes, and it is producing so much gas that we really have excess power coming out of the thing. So now we're saying, okay, well, maybe we can run our water plant on the extra energy that's coming out of it. So some neat things happening there, and just a real unusual connection with a company like Quasar that takes a waste product and makes something good happen out of it. Burbank Road and Liberty Street Extension and Dix Expressway and Oak Hill were all paved last year. So thank goodness for those that live on Burbank Road. I know you guys are all breathing a sigh of relief. This one here, a landmark ever since I've been born, is no more. College of Wooster took down their smokestack, and I don't know if you guys remember. I can remember telling people in college that Wooster only had 2 smokestacks in it, and they go, "What?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "The College of Wooster and Wooster City Schools had a smokestack." And now with this coming down, we don't have any smokestacks in Wooster, to my knowledge. So that, as I say, was something it was there ever since I've been born, but not anymore. So. Another thing in the Daily Record back in June, Council discusses a new COG, Council of Governments. We've worked with Ashland and the Wayne County Commissioners to address the regional dispatching of our safety services. It's something that all of us have to do, and we felt if we worked together, we could make it happen at a less cost for everybody and a better service. Ashland and Wooster are still moving forward with that. We are hoping the county commissioners will be a part of it, but that's really the county commissioner's choice on that one. We definitely will work with them if they want to be a part of the thing going forward. The College of Wooster also is doing well. They're having some of their largest enrollments that they've had. I think of close to 600 a year. Now, from what I remember, they are in the process of building a new student housing facility in the old Bell Avenue School. So that'll be opening up, I believe, for students here coming in the fall. So, so great things for the college to be having to expand. So now, for 2014, just wanted to tell you that we have put forward and council has approved a balanced budget for 2014. That's the first one of those that we've done in probably 3 or 4 years. And of course, Andre, my numbers guy, is out enjoying the sunshine. But I believe it's 3 to 4 years that we haven't had a balanced budget. We've been running a deficit budget because we didn't have the funds. But every tax dollar that people pay and all of these other things like intergovernmental, other ways that we receive money in through the state or federal agencies are shown there. As you see, 58% come straight from taxes. So the going from a 1 to 1.5% has really made a difference there. That extra 0.5% is going to raise approximately $5 million a year once the whole thing is fully instituted. So of that, council has approved using $2.5 million for replacement of those funds that went away that I showed you in the beginning. The other $2.5 million have been put for capital improvements. That is to improve our infrastructure, the roads, the sidewalks, any buildings the city owns, those kind of features. So that is that. Here's where your money goes. Not surprising, 42% of all the money that comes in goes to fund the safety forces, both police and fire. So one thing we learned through our process with the levy was how important people respect the safety services and how important that is to life here in Wooster. And so we want to make sure that we keep that strong. Something that we're doing in 2014, and I hope each and every one of you will be a part of it. It is called our comprehensive plan. The firm we hired is has labeled it Wooster Envision. And it's essentially the comprehensive plan. We do this once every 10 years to make sure that we're taking a look at our city, trying to decide where we want to go and grow as a city and how it should happen. And so this is the time that you really can have input into what Wooster will look like for the next 10 to 15 years out or longer. You can find this online at www.woosteroh.com, and there's a thing called Mind Mixer that it will link you with. And you can go on there, read the comments that others have said about what they want to see our city do, add your own comments about it, whatever. But it's a way you can be a part. We've had one public meeting down at the community center, but unfortunately it was one of those really, really cold nights, so we didn't get probably the turnout that we could have. But here's some neat things that they've done. They did a telephone survey that's about 95% accurate as far as the results that they are presenting to us. And this is online. You can see the whole survey. I just pulled a couple snapshots out. Generally speaking, what would you say that things in Wooster are going in the right direction? Well, I'm happy to say that about 64% of the people said yes, it is going the right direction. There's about 20% that said no, we're heading the wrong way. But you know, at least the majority of the people of our city say, yep, we're doing the right things. Another one, of the following, which would you focus on most to improve Wooster's quality of life? Job creation. largest, almost 51%. Jobs have been definitely of a concern to folks, and this survey pulls some of that information out. The age group of about 45 to 54 have had some real concerns, and I don't know if those have been some changes in their lives with an employer, but you know, at that age, it's harder to find a job. You're not quite in the same group the kids coming out of college. So there's another fact that they brought forward, how important it is it that the community be connected by sidewalks, bike paths, and recreation trails. 52% essentially said very important, and another 22% somewhat important. So a vast majority of the community feels that building the bike paths, the sidewalks, trails, and one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and unfortunately it came down to a money situation again, is to try to get Wooster connected to the Rails to Trail trails. The end point for the one that will eventually end up in Columbus is in Fredericksburg, Ohio right now. We have a map that we've laid out that would be a great way to bring us there, but we just didn't have the funds. So that's something for the future. I see Sandy standing up. Here is the BioOhio Research Park. I'm happy to tell you that it is finally getting movement. We have a board of directors, we have a master plan now, and you should start seeing things move forward. One of the things I hope to see in 2014 or 15 is some infrastructure as far as roadways and buildings going up there and promoting that on. Last thing here, I believe, is Merchants Block. The one thing I talked to Mike Rose yesterday just so that I had the latest and greatest from his point of view. Of course, I can't turn the page. Right now, 5 of the condo units on the top are sold and closed. 4 are under contract, so that's 9 of the 12 units have been spoken for. That means there's only 3 of the condos left until that whole top of that building is completely full. Downstairs you have the Lemonberry and the Jimmy John's, which just opened up, and Mike says he's in conversations with 2 restaurants, nothing to convey, but at least those talks are still going on. Things that other than that, over where Beulah Bechdel's used to be, there's a new business coming in. It's called Persnickety, and it's a women's store. So one of the things we heard is we don't have any women's type clothing or men's type clothing downtown. Well, that is in the works, should be open by summer. Broken Rocks is expanding in the space that Calla Lily was in, and so they're going to be doubling their space essentially. So you should see that by this summer too. Safe routes to school, Keene and Parkview areas beginning sidewalks. 585 is going to be improving to match what is out here at the stoplight from Rubbermaid up. Oak Hill paving from Oldman to Milltown Road is going to happen this summer. Do I have one more minute or should I?
Go ahead.
All right. For the future, here are our challenges and opportunities. We need to keep on focusing all the time on promoting and assisting in job growth with existing and new businesses in our community. That is an essential, and you saw in one of those graphs. We have the technographic buildings and Rubbermaid that are sitting not in full functional use, and we need to get those back in use in our community, and that's something we are always working on to. Implementing the comprehensive plans update that Wooster envisioned, bike and walking trails and sidewalks, connectivity piece, property maintenance, and the regional dispatch. Those are the things that we are going to be focusing on here in 2014. So with that, I thank you for your time. I want to leave any questions, but I can stay afterwards if people have them, or if you want to take time, that could be